What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the bakery for another YouTube video. So here over the last few weeks, I've been working really hard on a batch of cool knives that I'm going to be taking with me to display at Blade Show 2023 in Atlanta, Georgia. Now that that work is done and good to go, I am doing some spring cleaning here in the shop. We're going to get ready for some much bigger jobs I have coming up after Blade Show that I really want to hit the ground running on. And on that little cleaning to-do list is the relining of my primary forge. And I got to looking at it, and I also want to make some modifications to it and maybe spice it up, make it a little bit better. So that is today's video. I have all the materials put aside to do this. We're going to break down the forge, get it on the bench, and I'm going to show you what I have in store. Alright, so a quick rundown of what we hope to accomplish today. For those of you that are new to the channel or new to forging tools in general, we hope to reline and do some upgrades to what is my primary forge, which is a 3-burner Majestic forge. Now, if this looks familiar to any of you viewers out there, it's because this is the exact same thing that they use on the set of the show Forged in Fire. I've been using this as my primary forge for probably 3 or 4 years now on probably like a bi-weekly basis. And as you can see, she's seen some better days. Mainly what the issue is I have eroded the fire brick that's in the floor of this thing. And what does that mostly is flux. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've known that I've done pattern welded steel, random Damascus. Cable Damascus especially requires a lot of flux to ensure a good forge weld. And unfortunately, flux just totally destroys and eats away the liner of really any forge. So the goal today is going to be installing a new liner. And I've actually thought up some upgrades based on what I've seen other makers do to their forges. However, if you do happen to own a Majestic forge, it's not listed on their website, but if you go to their website and you contact them and ask them for a reliner kit, they have the whole kit available for you to reline your forge, and they get back to you via email with a current list price. I believe at the time I bought mine, it was $170 for the reliner kit, which comes with everything here. So that's the floor, the sides, and the top, and instructions. So we're going to knock out all the old stuff, which is probably going to take some time, and I'm going to walk you through some of the upgrades that I'm going to end up giving this. Okay, so we removed the 2 pins and got the top of the forge completely off this thing. As you can see, the top liner was already cracked in half and, well, cracked in quite a few spots. It fell apart pretty easily. But this also gives you a great view of the inside of this thing. And what I mean when I say kind of used and abused, this right here is basically the puddle of eroded flux and fire brit goo that usually starts to form once this forge is up to heat. So we're going to continue to break this down. I'm going to get it down to the shell, and I'll walk you through some of the upgrades I had in mind before we throw the new liner in. Okay, so we've gone ahead and completely removed our old forge liner, and we're down to just the framework here. A few things we're going to be doing before we install the new liner. I'm going to reface both sides of this forge skeleton here. The original sides are about an 1/8 inch thick, and they held up just fine. You know, over time they've obviously eroded away from the heat and abuse, but I wanted something a little bit beefier, maybe something that would last a little bit longer. So I went ahead and purchased some 3/16 flat bar, and I'm going to reface this with 3/16. Hopefully that'll last a little bit longer, and it'll just be just a stronger structure at both ends. Also, I'm going to be making some work trays coming off the bottom of this. We're just going to be taking some extra fire brick that I have kicking around, and I'm going to take some angle iron and we're going to frame this up so that it's all one piece. The angle is going to be welded to the base of this forge frame, and we'll have some nice work areas on both sides. And while we're at it, I actually think if I have enough angle iron, I'm going to weld up some channel with that angle iron on both sides. And along with some extra fire brick, I'm going to give this thing some sliding doors. I think that'll be real nice as well. In addition to that, right now I just use, for very long work, I just use a roller stand that's foldable, and I unfold it about 2 or 3 feet away usually, and even that has melted. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to take some pipe and I'm going to weld it to the sides here along with some 3/8 round stock or so, and we'll get about a foot or two of length in there, and I'm going to give us some telescoping work rests that can slide in and out here for longer work. Now, before we get into all this too, it's also worth noting that Majestic Forge, the company that produces this, does not advise anything along the lines of like the forge doors or sealing off the doors. It's more than likely just a liability thing. I, along with just about every other maker, has sealed up the doors to get, to maximize your heat inside the chamber. I think it's just because of wear and tear it does to the unit. And it's probably just a liability thing. They're just covering their end and the style of their product. But that's just worth noting in this video. So we're going to go ahead and cut this up, and I'm going to get started on these few upgrades. Okay, quick pause to show you where we're at and kind of explain where we're headed here. So we welded up our new faces on both sides. Those are also cleaned up and looking really good. We also went ahead and fabricated our fire brick inserts that are going to be our work area extensions coming off of both sides of the forge here. We're going to tack these to the forge frame right now. But I have all the brick inside on the forge floor here, and I have one in the insert where it's going to go. I have it all set up here. We want that area to be level all the way through for anything that's coming in and out or being worked on. We want that resting on a level forge floor for the foreseeable future until the floor starts to erode. But I have one tray propped up on one side. We're level. We're ready to go. We're going to weld up our work extensions on both sides of the forge here, and then we're going to start mocking up our work rest area extensions. Okay, so we got all the fab work done, and I wanted you guys to have one last look at the design features we added before we go putting in the new liner and making this thing look pretty. So we got some channel on both sides for sliding doors. And then we got our work area. This tray here, this fire brick comes out, and you can change them out as you go, but a nice little work rest area. And then our telescoping work area for extended work, keeping you away from the heat when you want to be. So I got some high heat paint. We're gonna throw a coat on the outside of this bad boy, put the liner in, and fire it up. Alright folks, that is a wrap on another YouTube video. Thank you all for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed some step-by-step instruction on forge maintenance, as well as throwing some upgrades on there. If you're a fan of my upgrades, be sure to let me know in the comments on this video. I can't think of any more upgrades I could have given to this thing. And furthermore, I plan on building myself a ribbon burner eventually with some step-by-step instruction on that. You know the drill. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, keep a sharp eye for new content, and we'll catch you on the next one.